All right, here we are.
Back to it.
Back to it. Back in the lobby.
Yes, sir. Back home.
Back home. Thank God. It's always nice to come back home.
Yeah, it is.
Like, even like home.
Yeah.
Like when you travel and stuff, there's not like coming back home. It's been, I feel like it's been a lot going on lately. I feel like there's been like a heaviness that's been going on since we last recorded. We were at Fresh Rags the last time.
Yeah.
That was a few weeks ago. Now we're here. But I think between that time.
Yeah. I feel like if it's one of those things where it really makes you want to either get closer to God or drift away. That's kind of what I've been feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that we had this conversation, but it's like, man, it's so much easier to kind of be in your feelings and get comfortable and complacent
100%.
than just kind of, all right,
100%.
let's put the gear on and let's go and let's fight the good fight.
And I always feel like when tough times come and you get in your feelings about it, you've been in your feelings the whole time. I feel like, I was on fire for Jesus, but then this happened, so now I'm in my feelings. Were you ever on fire for Jesus, or were you always in your feelings?
Yeah.
From the beginning?
Yeah. That's really hard, man. That's a really hard question, because I feel like a lot of Christians struggle with that. What happens when that passion and that fire moment,
dies
when
off.
all that dies off, and how do you recover from that and keep going back to that place?
But it's what you said. When that fire and that moment dies off, why does it die off?
Yeah.
Why do we allow that moment to die off? Why don't we stay on fire? Why does it die off?
That's the question of the hour. Yeah.
Were you really on fire in the beginning, in the first place? Because I feel like I've been filled of the Holy Spirit, and I'm always feeling filled of the Holy Spirit. I've never feel like it died off, or I'm not as on fire as I used to be, or I'm not, at the level that I used to be. I feel like I'm filled with the Holy Spirit. No levels to it. You're just filled or you're not.
So what's the secret sauce? Because
that's the thing. There is no secret sauce. You're either filled with the Holy Spirit or you're not.
Yeah.
Right? And so I feel like sometimes we are not. Just because we had the goozy moments, we think we are. But those are feelings.
Yeah.
It's not really, okay, you're filled, in my opinion. Because, or not my opinion, my experience.
Yeah.
How I live. Because I live in the same world everybody else does.
Yeah.
I don't live in a different world. Just like everybody else, I got workmates and neighbors and family members that are non-believers. I got to ride in the same highway, so they cross right in front of me just like they cross right in somebody else.
Yeah.
I got one kid that's on fire for Jesus, and I got one kid that's not. I'm living the same thing. I got family members that are ill. My wife just went through surgery.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't deal with anything different. I'm dealing with the same thing. I stay filled of the Holy Spirit. I'm never in my feelings.
Yeah.
In the sense of, I feel hurt when it hurts. I feel sad when something sad happens. I feel happy when something happy happens. But I'm always filled. I always go to Jesus no matter what. I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, and I walk filled of the Holy Spirit no matter what.
I think that's beautiful, man, because you just said something that brought me back to last night, something that our dear friend and sister Deborah said. She said a lot of the times what we're going through is because we remove Jesus out of the equation.
We remove him out of the equation.
And she's like, you look at what's wrong in Christianity, church, sometimes even our own personal lives, is because we've kind of replaced that spot where God should be there, right? Our time in his presence should be there. Our intimacy with him should be there with other things that are kind of gratifying our flesh or gratifying ourselves in the moment rather than wanting to fight.
But it's crazy, right? Because if we go back to that conversation, we were talking about shows that we like to watch,
yeah,
right? And I'm listening to people talk about the shows they like, and some of these shows I wouldn't dare watch
that is true.
because they're gonna make me watching that show is gonna definitely
Get you in
make
your
that
feelings.
fire die. Because it's gonna make the Holy Spirit want to walk away,
Okay.
in the sense of it's almost like the Holy Spirit, you put the TV on, you start watching the show, and you're there, you got your snacks, you got your drink, it's you, your wife, friends, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, and the minute certain things comes on, I feel like God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit just get up like, listen, man, we gotta go, we're not about this.
Yeah.
Y'all have fun, eat your snacks, but we gotta go.
Yeah.
We'll be outside.
Yeah.
We can't partake in this.
That's crazy.
It's almost, it's a gimmick I'm saying, but it's almost like that. I'm like, man, we're not watching what's going into our brains through our eyes, through our ears.
Yeah.
Some of these shows, the amount of cursing, the amount of,
No, yeah, it's
the amount of everything that's
dark,
in it.
bro.
It's
Yeah.
super dark.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it's hard, man, because I feel like a lot of times we forget that we are what we absorb and what we consume.
We're not
No.
anything else.
Yeah.
And then how do you watch something like that? And then want to what? Spiritual warfare? You're going to lose. There's no spirit in you.
So are you saying that moments like that where we entertain, things that are obviously not of God, it allows us moments and windows where, we detach ourselves from His presence?
100%. And I know
That's a hard.
I know young people don't like to hear this.
Yeah.
And I know that these are the kind of conversations that, young people will listen to this if they do, and they'll be like, here we go again. Like, nah.
Can't do this, can't do that. Yeah.
Oh, I watch it, and I don't feel the Holy Spirit. I still feel connected to God.
Yeah.
You feel connected to God.
But are
exactly.
you?
But
Yeah.
are you?
That is crazy. Yeah.
Is your prayer going anywhere?
Yeah.
Right? Are you? I feel like I don't watch those shows because I'm connected to God. Not because, I don't want to see drugs, or, I don't want to see sex. No. In the flesh, those things are attractive. In the natural, those things are attractive.
Yeah.
In the natural, those things should entertain me.
Yeah. That's
But
what
I
it's
don't,
there for.
Right? That's
Yeah.
why I don't know they win shows and all that. It's crazy to me that the
Yeah.
show wins shows. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that parents are letting their teenagers watch this.
That is true.
Crazy to me. But anyway, that's another topic. But what I'm saying is, I don't do it because I feel like the minute I make that decision, I'm disconnecting myself from the Holy Spirit of God.
So do you think that a lot of times when we're walking around in our feelings and we're walking around like, man, I'm struggling to really connect with God, is because we've made a lot of small decisions that have allowed more and more disconnect from Him?
It's not even decisions. It's lifestyle choices. Well, it is a decision, but it's lifestyle choices.
Yeah.
We want to be filled with the Holy Spirit, walking in Christianity, as if there's no war going on. So therefore, I could still dabble in the things of the world and be good.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You can't. It's either or. The Bible is very clear. You choose a path. You can't walk on both.
Yeah.
And I think we're always trying to dabble with, well, I don't feel. Who cares how you feel? That's the thing. We've put Christianity in a feeling scale. We scale it like according to how I feel.
Yeah.
That's how connected. I know there are days that I don't feel much, but I know I'm connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I think for a generation like ours, right, who is so big on feeling, it's so big on like having that emotional attachment to things, and we value relationships, moments, and stuff based on feelings. I think it's a hard concept for us to grasp that our relationship with God won't always feel like what it has felt in the past, right? Like, because you said it, like we can think about our coming to Jesus moment, and we can think about how that night saved our lives and how beautiful it was and how we cried and we were so happy, but it doesn't always feel like that, you know? And I feel like a lot of us, we struggle once that feeling is gone, and then it's just like, we think that, we equate that to God has left the chat in a sense, right?
Yeah.
How do you just know that you're walking with God despite not being able to feel Him in your day to day?
You just said the word, know. Instead of feeling, you got to know it. Instead of searching for what something feels, just know that you know. Right? And I think it is so important for us to separate ourselves so that we know. It don't matter how we feel, we just know. Jesus was very big on showing us to separate yourself. Set yourself aside, separate yourself, step away. You know, as much as he was around everybody, there was times where he knew he just needed to separate and detach himself, even from the disciples and from everything, from all the noise. Separate yourself.
Yeah.
That way you know that you're setting yourself apart for God to work in you, for the Holy Spirit to fill you. We don't do no separating of ourselves. We want to be Christians filled with the Holy Spirit without missing a moment in the middle of everything in the world. You know, we want to be filled of the Holy Spirit, but oh my God, I can't miss on this concert. We want to be filled of the Holy Spirit. I can't miss out on this show that everybody else is watching. We want to be filled of the Holy Spirit. I cannot not listen to the song that's like
trending
right now.
Yeah.
Or a certain style that's trending right now. Or certain drinks that are trending, or a club that's trending. We want to be filled, but we don't want to be separated. And we have to separate ourselves apart. We got to detach ourselves from the things of this world, from the things that make us feel anything in this world, you know, that could endanger our spiritual walk with Christ, that could come and intervene with what we're trying to achieve with Christ, with the Holy Spirit in us. Yeah,
it's like, you know, you can't have, the light and the darkness can't mix.
It can't mix, and I wish people, the young generation, and even the older generation, because right now in today's age, we can't just pick on you young people.
Yeah, that is
true. We do too much picking on the young people, and there's young people out here on fire for Jesus, and there's old people like me just sitting around doing nothing for Jesus. There's 20-year-olds going and doing missions, and there's 50-year-olds just sitting around comfortable because they preached a few messages and they did some things in the past, and they think that has them covered for life. No. So, it's not a young, old people anymore. It's everybody.
Yeah.
It's everybody. You know, and maybe even it's worse than people my age that are going through the middle-age crisis, and they start feeling like they missed out on life, and they want to, you know, before I die, I gotta wild out a little bit. Before I die, I gotta try this. Before, you know, I don't know. It's no longer a young versus older generation. I think it's everybody that is having a problem with really, really setting themselves apart for Christ.
Yeah.
And they want, and you're not anointed. Your sermons are not anointed. Your sermons are lukewarm. They're like, you speak and it's like, because you're not anointed.
Well, it's because your lifestyle is lukewarm. You know, I don't think that you cannot produce something that isn't cultivated, right? You can't expect all of this to happen if you're not putting in the work.
We've never, you know, even like speaking, and sermons. As long as you sermon prep according to how they taught you at the little university, you're good. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Jesus said, go and preach this gospel.
Yeah. You said something the other day where you're like, yo, like, they didn't have half the technology they had. They didn't have any of the technology that existed from the people who wrote the Bible.
What was the gospel that Jesus told his disciples to spread?
Yeah.
It wasn't, he said, you know, we're not abolishing the law. I'm fulfilling it.
Yeah.
Go spread this gospel. He didn't tell them to go become theologians and geniuses, and I'm not speaking against that. But go spread this gospel, the good news of Jesus. Go talk about the things you saw me do. It wasn't like go memorize the book and theologically have it all put together and be the #1 sermon prep guy, and your slides are on fire, and your sermon notes are on fire, and you know you have everything memorized, and you have everything all put together, all nice. But go preach about the things you saw me do.
Yeah.
What has God been doing that you could talk about? That you could speak about?
Do you think that sometimes the knowing instead of feeling comes from a lack of us seeing God move in our lives?
Of course. And we're not giving God the opportunity to move in our lives. We're not putting together events, let's call it that, or situations or moments for God to actually move.
Yeah.
But
but when you say that, like, you're not talking about these public things. You're talking about the intimate stuff.
I'm talking
correct?
about the intimate.
Yeah.
We're really good about being about Jesus in public.
Yes.
We're really good about going to the pop-up worships and stuff like that. But in our private time, are we really setting ourselves apart so that God can move? Are we making the choices that'll make God really move in our lives?
Yeah.
Are we creating life habits that'll make it so that God moves in our lives?
Yeah.
And it's like, I was talking to someone, they come back from a mission trip, they said, man, I've never seen miracles like that. And, America is going to be 250 years old this year, I think. And it's like, man, it's a baby compared to other countries. Yet, the Americana church acts like they walked with Jesus thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Like they know it all. Young kids, they just know it all. And it's like, what have you experienced that makes you know that God is in you? And it's hard for me when we're like so against speaking in tongue and the movement of the Holy Spirit. And you go to Sunday services, are drier than prunes. How do you know that you know? There's no manifestation of anything of the Holy Spirit. No manifestation at all of anything of the Holy Spirit. Just the songs were on cue. The sermon was university approved.
Yeah.
And then what? And then what?
Yeah. The lack of Jesus, right? When Jesus is removed from the equation, it prevents life change. It prevents real transformation and renewal of your mind. It prevents fruit. Like, it's really that simple, and I honestly, I struggle with the concept of some people where they don't know how to navigate and cultivate a relationship with the Holy Spirit.
Because it needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
There has to be perseverance and endurance. And we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We like we talked earlier, we're so big on the new thing that glows and glitters and shines.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, the newcomer. Oh my God, you're so cool.
Yeah.
But are we really cultivating relationships? Because, oh my God, you're so cool. It's your first time here, you're gonna come here? Yeah, it's so cool. But there's like 7 people who haven't come back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so cool because you're into what we're into socially, not spiritually, socially. You're so cool because you're into coffee like me. You're into shoes like me. You're into art like us. You're into this like me. Oh my God, you know, and it's all, we all like the same, similar worldly things. And oh my God, you're so cool. And oh my God, we're rejoicing. There's a win, this newcomer. But about the 10 people that have never came back
Yeah.
because your church was not on fire.
Yeah.
There was nothing that touched me, nothing that transformed me, nothing that convicted me. What about them?
Wow. Wow. That's deep, man. That's a very serious issue in today's church, and I feel like,
And I make enemies because I speak like this.
yeah.
I get disliked.
Yeah.
I don't get appointed. I don't get nothing assigned, nothing. I just make enemies.
You get invited to the cookout.
I don't get invited to nothing. I have my own cookouts. That's why I extended my deck so I could do my own party.
Yeah.
I built my own table.
Yeah, right.
You know, I don't miss out. I got my own table.
Yeah.
But you become very like, just like Jesus, very unpopular with the people that think they got it all together, because I'm speaking about, hey, there's no consistency. Hey, there's no perseverance. Hey, we're not setting anybody up to endure. We're not setting anybody up to persevere.
Yeah.
You know, discipleship is not a class. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that is true.
We made it, Americana made it a class. It's not a course on discipleship. That's how you become a disciple, because you take the course? No.
Right.
Discipleship is not a course. Discipleship is a lifestyle where you walk with someone, thick and thin,
Yeah.
even if they don't like the things you like.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that true discipleship would prevent a lot of negative experiences with
How
the
do
church.
how do you disciple someone to learn perseverance and consistency in a 6 course?
That's what I'm saying.
You attend for 6 weeks, for 6 days. We got this course. We wrote it out. It's all, you know, university theologian approved. Whatever. This is gonna build you. We're discipling you. We don't talk with you. We don't walk with you. We
don't hold you accountable.
We don't hold you accountable. There's no accountability in today's Christianity. None.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. I feel like true discipleship would prevent a lot of the church hurt that people experience, a lot of the letdowns, you know, because then it's like you're really doing what Jesus did.
And there's a hunger.
There's a hunger for that, yeah.
People all the time coming up to me, as much as the bad rep or whatever, that, you know, these type of conversations and the way I express myself can earn me. People still come to me like, man, you know, I need someone to help me.
Yeah.
And what they're saying is, I need somebody to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
But there's no accountability. People do whatever they want. They start something, don't finish it, who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, we can't look at that because, you know, we just got to be thankful that the Lord used them to start. Those who endured will be saved. The Bible doesn't say those who are crazy startups will be saved.
Yeah.
And we got crazy startups. Oh, let's start this, or let's do this. Let's endure. Let's persevere.
Let's follow through.
Let's follow through. Let's actually build something.
Yeah. Because that's where the real work is.
It's the real work.
I think if I can say anything, like if I've learned one thing from you this whole time, it's like building something is the work. It's not the finished product that is the work. It's the process of, right? Because in the building is when the refinement happens. It's when your character is being molded. It's when you're being set free, when the healing happens. We want to look at the finished product
right away.
And it's like, oh, that's okay, we built something. And it's like, did you realize that while you took that step of obedience and you trusted God, he was working on you the whole time, and that's what he was really building? And that's the beautiful part, man, of
what I love about Soul Faith is that we could care less about what's trending.
Yeah.
We could care less about the new shiny thing. and we will walk with people
Yeah.
tirelessly till we see the glory of God.
Yeah.
And people ask me, oh, when do you know it's the glory of God? When I see the people that I've walk with others.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that they've become perfect, because I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I still got people walking over me.
Yeah.
I still got people holding me accountable. I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I need my mom Sheila and Pop Bobby. I need them. It's not that I like having them around, it's that I need them. Sometimes there's conversation where I wish I didn't have to have them around.
Like, dang, y'all just kill everything. I'm just like,
Every dream I have, y'all. No.
no, I'm messing.
But when do I see the glory of God? When I see people be so appreciative of the patience and love that God has had for them, that then they're being patient and loving to someone else.
Yeah.
And they're willing to walk, knowing that people will trip, people will fall,
Yeah.
people will, will all just be humans.
Yeah.
People will be late, people will be, And so, and regardless of all that, you just endure and persevere, not for what you're gonna receive, but what you're gonna be willing to give. And if you're not discipling people correctly, they won't know that that's discipling.
Yeah. I think we talked about this earlier in the week, and you had mentioned that being filled with the Holy Spirit has two ways of it being poured out. You can either pour it out intentionally, how you just covered, or you can just let it kind of go to waste by not doing anything. And I think a lot of us fall into that second category. And so when we feel empty, right, it's like, well, what'd you do? You didn't do nothing, right? And a lot of times, that's going to be a really sad reality wake-up check for some of us, where it's going to be like, what did you do with the gifts that I gave you, with the people that I gave you?
We always think that fulfillment comes from something you receive.
Yeah.
And for Christianity, for Jesus, for God, fulfillment comes with something that you're able to give. It's not what could be done for you, but what you could do for others. It's not what you can get, but what you can give to someone.
Yeah.
It's not who can be there for you, is who are you there for?
Yeah.
That's the fulfillment. And we're always thinking that, oh, God filled me because he gave me. God filled me because he poured it in me. And I'm like, God filled me because I was able to give. I was able to pour forward.
Yeah.
And that's the fulfillment of the Holy Spirit of God.
Yeah.
And we live in a world where Christianity is about receiving,
Yeah.
and not giving, and it turns into feelings
Real fast.
real quickly.
Yeah.
Real quickly, it just turns into feelings,
Yeah.
and it's like, get out your feelings.
Yeah.
Like that's going, if you want to hear this conversation, that's what it's going to be labeled,
Get out
titled.
your feelings.
Get out your feelings.
That's crazy.
Because, I know a lot of people say it, and I hate saying it now because it's like me trying to be like these cool mic droppers. I don't know. I don't do this because of how I feel.
Yeah.
You ask me right now, I'm tired. How do you feel? Tired, exhausted. It's Friday evening. Sunday evening. I don't even know what day it is. Sunday night.
I feel like it's Friday. I feel like I need 2 more days a weekend.
I've not had a rest day yet.
Yeah.
How do I feel? I don't do this because of how I feel. I do this because we need to hear the message of discipleship. We need to hear a message about Christianity, the real Christianity, the one that Jesus talked to us about. Speak about the things I did.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because that's when the power of the Holy Spirit was manifested.
Yeah.
That's when we see the power of God.
Yeah.
We don't see the power of God only because of that dope sermon that you could come up with.
Yeah.
Well, what's the story behind that sermon? I feel like sometimes we want to do a great job of breaking a verse down instead of relating to the verse.
Yeah.
We become real comfortable with writing the perfect sermon. But could you give me a story in your life that relates to that sermon, to that verse, to that story?
Yeah.
What happened in you?
Yeah.
Yesterday, last week,
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. The gospel has to be personal before it can be shared. You know, like realistically, because you cannot talk about a Jesus and a Holy Spirit that you have no personal relationship with. I've never
And that's when I get into this whole thing about older and younger. I think this younger generation has no regard for people like me that have gone through some things and experienced some things. And if we're feeling a certain way, it's because we've seen some things. And because we were that 22, 23-year-old that thought he knew it all. I mean, I always tell people, I'm open about what drove me to learn the Bible. I wanted to prove my pastor father wrong. My father was a pastor. I wanted to prove him wrong. I want to prove that this fanatical Pentecostal preaching was wrong. And I feel like, you know, that's all we care about. It's trying to prove somebody wrong. But then I learned that he was always right. He was never wrong.
That is crazy.
He was always right.
Wow.
He was never wrong. And you know why he was always right? Because he lived with such a level of integrity.
Yeah.
You know? That it was, yeah.
Yeah.
He had God in him. Holy Spirit was shining right through him. You know? And now I find myself just wanting to be like him, not against him.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make it easier for the younger generation to notice that, to come to that realization quicker.
Yeah.
And, you know, it comes from but you know, it's like, well, you don't know how to make cute notes, and your sermon prepping is not, you know, new generation approved. And so I don't know if you know.
Yeah. But the thing is though, I feel like we try to, go ahead.
What's my proof?
Yeah.
That 35 years later, I'm still on fire. I still want to serve Jesus hard.
Yeah.
And I've been through thick and thin. I've been through all hell and high water. But I've lost people that I loved. I've had to go to more funerals than I know. But yeah, I still want to love Jesus hard.
Yeah. I think what that highlights though is the spiritual maturity. You know, I feel like spiritual maturity, we try to define it by so many things and we try to equate it to gifts. But in all actuality, spiritual maturity is love for the gospel and love for others. And I really admire that about you, because when you really take the time to walk with somebody, that's what you're ultimately showing them, is love. And I wish, right, that a lot of us, because at first there's always a wall.
Always.
But once that wall gets broken down and you really start seeing that the people who've been walking with God, that are filled with His Holy Spirit, ultimately anything that they tell us, anything that they share with us, it's out of love. You know, the love doesn't always feel good. Love sometimes can be convicting, it can be correcting, it can be like, you know, but ultimately you have to embrace all the forms of that love. And that is true spiritual maturity, which is something that we're lacking.
And I go through the same thing, because when Bobby and Sheila, when they speak over me or to me, you know, it's not always a comfortable conversation. It doesn't always feel good. And I find myself acting like the little immature kid at 53, right? Where it's like, listen, I've been doing this for 30 years. You know, you know, sometimes I speak to little younger people and they're like, well, you know, I've been reading the Bible all my life. 8 years, 7 years, 5 years, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I find myself doing that too. Like, listen, I've been doing this for over 30 years, and then they smack me in the face and in the back of the head, and they're like, well, I'm on my 50th year. You still got a lot to learn, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, yeah, because if we're not willing to learn, and I feel like all of our experiences and all of the things we go through are to serve as learning experiences for others.
For others, yeah.
That's where I'm at now. That's why Soul Faith means so much to me, because it's a place where I could take what I've learned, not only because I know all 66 books of the Bible and all that. No, because there's so many things in life that the Lord has allowed me to go through. Good and bad and hard and highs and lows, so that I could pour it forward,
Yeah.
so that we could see the power of God
And others.
and others could learn
Yeah.
what to watch out for, what to look out for, what to expect. You know, why is it important to say no to certain things? Why? Why is it important to watch what you, to be careful of what you watch on TV and the music you hear? Why? So that your marriage could be strong. You know, just
Yeah.
throwing out an example.
Yeah.
It's not because we're trying to be better. We're not better. I don't do this because I'm better than anyone. I'm not. I'm not better than no one. There's no one I'm better than. I just do it because I love people, and I don't want to see people hurt, and I want to see people grow spiritually, strengthen their walk. I want to see people's calling and purpose. I want to see it.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want nothing more than that. I want God to use you. I want to see God using you immensely.
Yeah.
You know, I've lived my life. I got nothing to envy. I got nothing to be jealous about. I've lived my years. And I always said, man, if this was it, I lived an amazing life. God gave me an amazing life.
Yeah.
And to think there's still more. And that's what I want. I want for people to see that God's living with God is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want more than that. But, you know, it's almost like a lack of maturity. Yes, it is. When you disregard these older generations that have been around longer than you have, that have done it longer than you have. And just because they don't do it like you know, it's like me saying, well, I don't think Mama Sheila knows the Bible like I do because, you know, she still has to put her eyeglasses and look through the book, and because she won't do it on an iPad.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have an iPad, then she's just not as, you know. No, we're looking at the wrong thing. How did you endure? I always ask them, how is it that you're going on over 50 years? How do you still love Jesus hard?
Yeah.
Because at 35, I get tired of it sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And then you hear what they've been through and you're like, dang, you know?
And even when I tell them, look, it hurts me when people have criticized me, and it hurts me when people have disregarded me, and they're like, well, get used to it, because that's all it's gonna do is hurt. Get out your feelings.
That's tough, man.
I learned this from them.
Yeah.
Get out your feelings.
That is tough.
Stop feeling the hurt.
Wow. Yeah.
Get out your feelings.
Yeah. But to elaborate on that though, you feel it, you just have to surrender it,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Oh yeah, I feel hurt and I feel pain, and when people that don't know me talk bad about me, it hurts. I feel it.
yeah.
You know. But I have to just surrender and be like, well, whatever. Folks are gonna be who folks are gonna be. I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
You know. And you know, I just want people to agree on one thing. The Bible's black and white. Stop trying to put so many colors into it. There's only a little bit of red in there. All the other colors you're trying to add to it, they don't mix.
Yeah.
Stop trying to create a painting off the Bible. Nah, it's just black and white with a little bit of red. That's all the colors you need. That's all the colors that are there. Nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Just keep the main thing.
Just keep it.
You know,
Listen.
you cannot live a life with Jesus out of the equation.
It's a yes and no life.
Yeah.
It's not a, but maybe, no. It's a yes and no life.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
It's
it.
yes to Jesus and no to everything else.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's really it.
You know?